Okay, so I want to go through pandas in Python. Some simple stuff involved. So the first thing you do before you pandas is all about to deal with lists, tables. Yeah, for example, the first thing you do is to import pandas from import pandas as PD. Yeah. So what do you do? So here we have like lists of data that are converted into tables. Then we deal with the tables like basically spreadsheet in Python. Okay, so we can have our data and be like anything. Let me say I have names. Names can work on this, and these names I have different names there. Okay, so we have something like this. We have our data, and this data can be stored in tables using pandas. So we can come and be like, let this df be equal to pd dot data frame. So let us form our data frame using the data available. Then I can print df. Okay, so we have something like this. Don't know if you people can see. So we can have the names. So we have the names listed very well. Age. So this is what we were talking about. That's what Panda does. So we can vary this in various ways. So we have the the functions like the df dot head. So whereby this one is basically dealing with the rows. So if I print it, I basically if I print into brackets this entire thing, Ctrl C, yeah, it gives me the same thing. Yeah, as you can see, it has just doubled. It gives me the same thing. It has just doubled here. Can fix this such that this is clear. When I run again, so it basically gives us the same. It's supposed to give us the same thing. Seems it has cut. Is that right? So this one outputs the first 5 rows. So it outputs the first 5 rows no matter your data. So if you're keen, you observe that when I run this, we have almost up to 7 rows. Because this is 1, 2, they are almost up to 7. That's why here there is 6. They have almost up to 7 rows. However, when I print with df.head, it gives me the first 5. So these are the first 5. So that's what it does. Okay. So we also have the okay. So you find that the df prints the rows. However, sometimes you can fix like yourself and be like, if I need the first 2 instead of the first 5, and you run, so it gives you the first 2. In case you need the first 1, it can also do that. Something like that. So it prints the rows, so you can number. If there is nothing, then it prints the first 5. Okay, so we can proceed. So there is what we call the tail. Yeah, can fix that so it doesn't run. There is the df dot tail. So this prints the rows also. However, for it begins from down. For example, I can print Ctrl C, df the tail. This is tail. Let's say I'm printing from the last two rows. So this one will give you the last two rows. If you run, you see it's giving me from 6 to 2 to 5, the last two names. So that's what the tail does. Columns, but the last ones. Then we can also talk about the df.info. This is what we call df.info. So this one gives the summary. Gives a summary. Let me fix this. If I fix this and I run this, so this gives the summary. So you see it's giving me the summary down here. Objects, I have 7. Age, I still have 7. So they are all corresponding. In case something is missing, they'll put none. Okay. Then I also have the scripts. Can also have df descript. Info gives a summary, then I can have the descript. This one gives like basically the statistics of the. Can first fix this. And run again. So it's saying that it just gives the statistics, the count, which one is unique, gives the frequency, top, something like that. So the describe just gives the statistics of whatever is happening. Okay, this one we said gives the rows. Number maximum 5, however it can be specific. The first row, the tail gives the rows also, however from the bottom, the first two rows from down. Information gives the information about the system, which values are around, how many. Descript just gives the statistics. Okay, then we can also have, let's see how can we compute for the age, mean of the age. So if we are to compute for the mean of the age, what do we do? So you find that can be like my mean age. So meaning I have to come to the column for the age and compute. So how do you do that? Meaning you have to come to df, and in the df you go to the column that you're interested in. I'm interested in the one for the age. Yeah. So to the one of the age you want to compute the mean. So dot mean, something like that. So we can print the mean age and we see to see. So we can print this and we see what we get. Oh, we have an error. Why? So the issue is I wrote these as strings, so we can't really find the mean. So let me convert them to like normal numbers. I've converted them to normal numbers, so we can run again and see. So finally we have our mean. It can be like f mean, print f mean equals to in age, something like that. So I have to close. So when I print again, so you can tell me that our mean age is that. Okay, so what about what else? We can also Okay, so how to select those only the age and the T. So can be like, let's say print those. I want to choose only the two columns. So we can fix off these two. So how do I? So this is the same thing. I come to the df. I want the column for the name. Then I also want the column for the age.